Imagine a health risk so pervasive, so damaging, that it quietly undermines the well-being of millions, yet it carries no warning label. This isn't a new superbug or a mysterious environmental toxin. It's something far more common, something many of us have experienced: loneliness. Groundbreaking research has unveiled a truly shocking fact. The long-term physical damage caused by chronic loneliness is comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes every single day. That's a staggering comparison, when you consider how much we know about the devastating effects of tobacco on the human body. This isn't an exaggeration for effect. It is a stark, evidence-based warning about the profound biological consequences of social isolation. This hidden epidemic operates in the shadows, often dismissed as a simple emotional state or a personal failing rather than the serious public health crisis it truly is. We talk openly about diet, exercise, quitting smoking, but the vital need for social connection is frequently left out of the conversation. Yet, the data is unequivocal. So, what exactly is loneliness? It's crucial to understand that it is not the same as being alone. Many people enjoy solitude, finding it a time for reflection, creativity, and rejuvenation. You can be in a crowded room, surrounded by people at a party or in a bustling city, and still feel profoundly lonely. Conversely, you can be physically alone for extended periods and feel perfectly content and connected. Loneliness, at its core, is a subjective, distressing experience. It is the painful gap between the social connections you desire and the ones you actually have. It's a feeling of being unseen, unheard, and disconnected from the world around you, regardless of your physical circumstances. This feeling isn't a sign of weakness. It's a primal biological signal, much like hunger or thirst. For our ancient ancestors, being part of a tribe was essential for survival. That alarm is the feeling of loneliness. It's a built-in survival mechanism designed to push us back toward the safety of the group. When loneliness becomes chronic, it triggers a cascade of harmful physiological changes, turning what was once a temporary alarm into a state of constant, low-grade emergency. One of the most significant impacts is on our cardiovascular system. The stress of persistent isolation activates the body's fight-or-flight response, leading to an overproduction of stress hormones like cortisol. Over time, elevated cortisol levels can lead to increased blood pressure, higher cholesterol, and inflammation throughout the body. These are not just abstract risk factors, they are the direct biological pathways that contribute to the hardening of arteries, putting immense strain on the heart and dramatically increasing the risk of heart attack and stroke. It's a silent, relentless assault on our body's most vital organ. The immune system also takes a heavy hit. Think of your immune system as your body's internal army, constantly on patrol for invaders like bacteria and viruses. Chronic loneliness essentially puts this army on high alert for the wrong kind of threat. Studies have shown that lonely individuals exhibit changes in the very expression of their genes, leading to a suppressed response to viral threats while simultaneously ramping up pro-inflammatory activity. This means a lonely person is not only more likely to catch a common cold, but their body also exists in a state of chronic inflammation, which is a known driver of numerous diseases, including arthritis, type 2 diabetes, and even certain types of cancer. Let's return to that stark comparison. The health risk of chronic loneliness is equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. This finding, from a landmark meta-analysis led by psychologist Dr. Julianne Holt-Lundstad, is not just a catchy headline. It's a powerful tool for understanding the magnitude of this issue. For decades, we have poured billions into anti-smoking campaigns because we recognize it as a leading cause of preventable death. Each cigarette delivers toxins that damage lungs, heart, and blood vessels. Chronic loneliness does something similar, but from the inside, your body generates its own damaging response through excess stress hormones. This chronic stress state leads to systemic inflammation, the same deadly pathway that makes smoking so dangerous. Consider the numbers. If a doctor told you a daily behavior raised premature death risk by nearly 30%, you'd take action. That is precisely the risk of profound loneliness, greater than obesity or physical inactivity. It's not about which is worse. It's about recognizing both as major, modifiable risk factors for early death. The loneliness is the new smoking mantra is a wake-up call to individuals and public health systems alike. If loneliness were a rare condition, it might be a personal tragedy. But the data reveals a widespread public health crisis across the United States. Even before the pandemic, a significant portion was already struggling. A 2018 national survey by Cigna found nearly half of Americans sometimes or always feel alone. Think about that for a moment. Tens of millions live with disconnection so profound it impacts well-being, a silent majority in isolation. This isn't confined to one demographic. Some of the highest rates are among young adults. Generation Z has been labeled the loneliest generation. Despite hyperconnectivity, they report the highest loneliness scores. Mobility, decline of community institutions, and remote work reduce everyday connection. The U.S. Surgeon General has declared loneliness a public health epidemic. These numbers are our neighbors, colleagues, family, and perhaps even ourselves. Consider a recent retiree. Let's call him David. For 40 years, his career and co-workers defined his social world. Upon retirement, that world vanished overnight. Suddenly his days were empty, and he felt invisible. Maria moved to a new city for a better job. She spends her days juggling work and 2 young children. By the time the kids sleep, she's exhausted. Scrolling past friends' gatherings, she feels a sharp pang of disconnection. Sarah, a college freshman, is one of thousands, unknown in vast lecture halls. She eats alone, headphones shielding her from the chatter. She wants to reach out, but a paralyzing fear of rejection holds her back. Their stories are fictional, but they mirror millions of real lives. The good news: reconnection can heal what loneliness harms. The journey out doesn't require a grand gesture. It begins with small, intentional steps. Focus on shared interests: hiking, painting, reading, board games. Join a club, garden, choir, or rec league. Let conversations form naturally. Do one small outreach daily. Smile, compliment, or send a quick check-in text. Volunteer. Service builds camaraderie, purpose, and belonging. This week, sign up for a class, call instead of text. Say hello to neighbors. Every lasting friendship began with a single moment of connection. Small steps today can lead to a healthier, happier, and longer life.